In the annals of human history, there are stories that defy explanation, events so extraordinary that they challenge our understanding of the natural world. These are the miracles, moments where the divine hand seems to reach down and touch the lives of ordinary people. The story of Daniel Ekechukwu is one such story, a testament to the power of faith and a beacon of hope for those who believe. Daniel's story, like many others, began with tragedy. It was an ordinary day in 2001 when a horrific accident claimed his life. Doctors declared him dead, and his family and friends were left in shock and grief. But this was not the end for Daniel. His journey was far from over. His story is one that has echoed around the world. It is a story of faith, hope, and the unwavering love of a wife who refused to accept death's finality. It is a story that speaks to the deepest longings of the human heart, the desire for life beyond the grave, and the hope for a future reunion with loved ones lost. The events that unfolded on that fateful day in 2001 are forever etched in the minds of those who witnessed them. Daniel Ekechukwu, a young man full of life and promise, was involved in a horrific car accident. The impact of the crash was devastating, leaving his body broken and his life seemingly extinguished. First responders arrived at the scene to find a chaotic scene. The mangled wreckage of the vehicle stood as a stark reminder of the fragility of life. Despite their best efforts, there was nothing they could do to save Daniel. He was pronounced dead at the scene, his time on earth seemingly cut short. The news of Daniel's death spread like wildfire through his community. Friends and family were in disbelief, their hearts heavy with grief. It seemed impossible that someone so full of life could be gone so soon. Amidst the tears and the sorrow, arrangements were made to transport Daniel's body to the mortuary. The mortuary, a place of somber rituals and final goodbyes, became the next stop on Daniel's unexpected journey. It was here that his body, now still and lifeless, was prepared for burial according to customary practices. The process of embalming, a meticulous procedure designed to preserve the body after death, was carried out with care. Formaldehyde, a powerful preservative, was carefully injected into Daniel's veins, halting the process of decomposition and giving the illusion of peaceful slumber. This ritual, performed countless times throughout history, served as a stark reminder of the finality of death. Yet unknown to those who mourned him, Daniel's story was far from over. While his body lay in the cold embrace of the mortuary, a different kind of preparation was taking place elsewhere. This preparation was not of the physical body, but of the spirit. It was a preparation fueled by unwavering faith and the unshakable belief in a God who could defy even death itself. Nika, Daniel's beloved wife, refused to accept the finality of his death. Her heart ached with grief, but her spirit clung to the promises of God. She had witnessed his power before, and she knew that with God, all things were possible, even the resurrection of the dead. Nika's faith was not a passive hope, but an active force. She spent hours in prayer, beseeching God to intervene and bring her husband back to life. Her cries were not for herself alone, but for Daniel, for his life cut short, and for the world to witness the awesome power of the Almighty. News of Neka's unwavering faith spread quickly. Some admired her steadfast belief, while others questioned her sanity. How could she possibly believe that her husband, a man declared dead by medical professionals, could be brought back to life? But Neka remained undeterred. She knew in her heart that God would honor her faith. Word of Daniel's tragic passing and Neka's unwavering faith reached the Grace of Faith Mission Church, a place where hope and healing were often found. Pastor Lazarus, known for his powerful teachings and unwavering belief in God's miraculous power, received Neka's plea with an open heart. He knew that with God, nothing was impossible. The church, a beacon of hope for the community, became a sanctuary of prayer for Daniel. Congregants gathered day and night, their voices united in fervent prayer for a miracle. The atmosphere was electric with faith as believers from all walks of life stood in agreement, believing that God would hear their cries and answer their prayers. However, not everyone shared the same unwavering belief. Skepticism lingered in the hearts of some, casting a shadow of doubt over the congregation. The idea of a dead man returning to life seemed impossible, a tale better suited for storybooks than real life. Days turned into nights as the church remained a constant hum of prayer and worship. Then, on the third day, something extraordinary happened. As Pastor Lazarus led the congregation in prayer, a surge of power filled the church. It was a tangible presence, a feeling that something supernatural was about to occur. Suddenly, gasps of astonishment filled the air. Daniel Ekechukwu, the man who had been declared dead and embalmed, sat up in the mortuary. Color returned to his face, and his eyes fluttered open. He was alive. The church erupted in joyous celebration. What had been deemed impossible had become a breathtaking reality. People laughed, cried, and embraced one another, overwhelmed by the tangible presence of God's power. Skeptics were silenced, their doubts replaced with awe and wonder. In that moment, all who witnessed the miracle knew that they had witnessed the impossible. As Daniel's story spread, people from far and wide flocked to hear his testimony. They yearned to understand what he had experienced during his time in the realm beyond the living. Daniel spoke of a profound peace that enveloped him after his physical death. He described vivid visions of heaven, a realm of unimaginable beauty and joy, where the presence of God radiated like 1,000 suns. But his testimony was not without its somber notes. Daniel also recounted harrowing glimpses of hell, a place of unimaginable torment and anguish. He described it as a realm of eternal separation from God, where darkness reigned supreme, and the cries of the lost echoed through the abyss. His descriptions sent chills down the spines of those who listened, serving as a stark reminder of the eternal consequences of their choices. The miraculous resurrection of Daniel Ekechukwu finds a powerful parallel in the biblical account of Lazarus. In the Gospel of John, chapter 11, Jesus receives news that his dear friend Lazarus is deathly ill. Instead of rushing to Lazarus' side immediately, Jesus waits for 2 days before arriving in Bethany, where Lazarus lived. By the time Jesus arrived, Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. Despite the seemingly hopeless situation, Jesus, filled with compassion and divine authority, commanded Lazarus to come forth from the tomb. To the astonishment of all present, Lazarus, his body still bound in grave clothes, emerged from the tomb alive. The resurrection of Lazarus, like that of Daniel Ekechukwu, stands as a testament to God's power over death and his willingness to intervene in the lives of those who believe. The story of Daniel Ekechukwu is not merely a fascinating anecdote from the past, but a vibrant reminder of God's power and love. It is a call to faith, urging us to believe in the impossible, even when faced with seemingly insurmountable challenges. It is a call to embrace forgiveness, recognizing that just as God, in his infinite mercy, forgave us, we too are called to extend forgiveness to others. Finally, it is a call to holy living, understanding that our time on earth is precious, and that we are called to live lives that reflect God's love and grace. Let the story of Daniel Ekechukwu ignite a fire within your soul, a fire that burns brightly with faith, hope, and the unwavering belief that with God, all things are possible. Let his miraculous resurrection serve as a beacon of hope in a world often shrouded in darkness. Remember, the God who raised Daniel from the dead is the same God who is alive and at work in our lives today.